And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker.
And what is up, everybody? It's your boy Ben Goosen, along with my boy. I'll let you introduce. You got to hit him with the real hardcore Sage the Mock this week.
Yo! What it do? It's your boy Sage the Mock. Where my boy Dobby at? Where Dobbs at? I saw y'all playing online earlier, a couple days ago. Still no invite. What's up with that?
You know, I haven't played much Xbox this week. Just because there's been a lot going on, sports, wrestling, all that good stuff, plus the Super Bowl. I got to say, it was a good week in sports. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did not watch the Super Bowl, man. I stand with Cap, bro.
Man, you didn't miss much. I mean, if you like a defensive game, it's a great game. If you don't, then it was a terrible game. But, yeah, the Pats coming up with a big dub. All I did, honestly, the best part about the Super Bowl was I got to eat. Went to a barbecue potluck. It was good. Great. Ate some fish, some sausage, we ate some chicken. I don't know if we ate some chicken, some rice, some steak. Man, you name it. Everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was good. I was very well fed. You mentioned something I want to start off this week's show with.
Yeah, man.
That you didn't get an invite to play games.
Nah.
To play Xbox.
Nah.
Go ahead and tell them your gamer tag so they could join up or send us invites whenever they want.
I don't know if I really want to do that, bro.
Exactly. That's me. If you want to ever join, Sage the Mark and I, it's at Ben Goosen on Xbox. Ben space Goosen. Easy to find. I had to just put you on blast for a minute, just for fun.
I've been debating on whether I should change my username. I mean, there's no reason to it, but I've had it for so long. It's just kind of been a staple of who I am. But you know.
Yeah, but a lot of times though, when you play solo stuff. So anytime you want to join up with your boy Ben Goosen, I'm normally on a decent amount on weekends and throughout the week, depending on the wrestling schedule, of course. Ben space Goosen, just like the name on the podcast, Ben Goosen. Join me. I don't care who you are, what games you played. Just join me so we could chit chat. Now this week, we could have invited you to some. We played some Call of Duty Blackout. We got greasy. And it went okay. I think we came in second in a couple games. We didn't get the dub. We didn't come in first or anything like that. But overall, it was a good performance by us this weekend. And we're not great players by any means, but we're a good team.
Y'all
suck.
Y'all suck because y'all don't got me.
You're the one man missing. You know what I did do?
Man. Army of one.
When we think of Blackout is the battleground, the battle royale mode.
Yeah.
But it was inspired by Fortnite. So you know what I did Saturday night at 1 a.m.? And I was tired. But
what'd you do?
I went to Marshmallow's concert in Fortnite.
Nice.
Did you hear about it?
I actually did hear about that, man. I heard he did an encore as well.
He did. So I watched a tiny bit of it at 1 p.m. And I was like, man, I got to be a part of this. So a loyal fan who is my buddy on Xbox, Stephen Thatch, who's normally here in the chat, he hit me up and said, hey, let's do the 1 a.m. show. And I said, I don't have Fortnite. I downloaded it, came in clutch. The download finished at 12:57, and the concert started at 1. So I showed it, and it was awesome. So it's crazy because the concert, it was just at a stage that they had been building in-game for the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it disabled you being able to kill anyone else or build anything, but all you could do was basically jump and emotes.
Nice.
And it was a 10, 15-minute concert. 10 million people logged in to watch that thing.
Jeez. Were you able to do the floss?
Everything. Matter of fact, he even said, you know how like EDM shows, DJs, they'll be like, all right, 1, 2, when the bass drops, when the beat hits, 1, 2, 3, let's go. He even said, all right, on the count of 3, I want to see, when this beat hits, I want to see your best emotes. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then the beat hit, and every single, 100-person lobby, everyone's doing all their custom emotes.
Nice.
And then, it was really good. And 10 million people. So it makes me think 10 million people logged in to see this thing. So I wonder if other artists are going to do it. Because if you're Fortnite, I would think you don't have to pay these people, because you could say, hey, listen, you should pay us, because quite frankly, I'm telling you, you're going to have 10 million people watch you at one time. So you should pay us to be on this thing. So do you think there'll be other artists? I think it caters more to the EDM and the DJ crowd. But
yeah, I mean, I think this could be the future of concerts. I mean, considering like I I would love to go to concerts as much as the next person, but with having kids, it's just it's a little bit difficult, and this can kind of give us the opportunity to kind of do that, man. I wouldn't even mind paying. I mean, I wouldn't pay like the price of what a normal admission would be, but I don't think you would have to, $5-10 here, or even if it's free. I mean, that's
even
better.
$1. And the thing that makes it work with Fortnite, and I saw this a lot on Twitter, is that Fortnite is a age-friendly game. So I saw videos of parents who let their kids stay up extra late to do the 1 a.m. encore. And it was something like, if a dad, like me and you, play games, and if our kids play games, we could say, well, you play Fortnite, I play Fortnite, let's do this marshmallow thing and have fun. So yeah, I thought it was real cool, man. That was my weekend. Now, have you heard of Apex?
I have.
Have you played it yet?
I downloaded it last night, and I played a good 30 minutes, and then this evening I played another 20 minutes of it. I absolutely love the game.
How long is the download?
If you get a wired connection, you could probably kick it in like 10-15 minutes. If you get a wireless connection, you're pretty close. Probably like 30-45 minutes. It's not really a huge download, and you can actually play the game after 15%.
Okay, because my connection sucks. I get just the Xbox, so the home connection's great, but my Xbox only gets 12 to 15 megasecond.
Yeah.
So do you think I could download it in 2 hours?
Yeah, man. Honestly, you'd probably be able to put it down in like 30, maybe 45 minutes, man. It's weird. Like the biggest part of the download is more of the enhanced graphics. So like I said, like after probably like 15 or 20 minutes, you'd be able to actually start playing the game. If you don't have like any intention of like playing tonight, like as soon as we get out, because I know that we're going to be probably a little late, you probably just download it, set it, forget it, and then come morning you'll have it available to you.
Good point. Yeah, I need to check out Apex. It's kind of the hot game right now. So
yeah.
Do you think that this when do you think this battle royale thing's going to die down?
When everyone starts to do the same exact thing. Like I think that's kind of the catch-22 with battle royale. It's not so much the Hunger Game style of play, because I mean, to be honest with you, that's what it is. It's basically 100%. Hunger Games.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But how can you reinvent the wheel? How can you make it better? And I think that Apex has done like amazing job on like, this is what Call of Duty should have been, bro. Like,
I agree.
You've got you got kill streaks. Well, not kill streaks, but you got like it's a kill streak, bro. You got a kill streak. I mean, it's I don't know, it's amazing, man. And you can customize your weapons, customize your emotes, customize your finishers. Like you can actually perform like a death finisher, like Mortal Kombat. Just not as gruesome, but
of course.
I mean, it's amazing, man. Dude, like this is my first time getting into a battle royale, and my anxiety is completely gone.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean it's completely gone, man. It's literally uh, it's like playing SOCOM. Like, and I know you were never a PlayStation fanboy, but it's like playing SOCOM. Like you have strategies with your teams, like legit strategies. And then everyone has like their own special like perk that can help the other team. Um, it's just so much fun, man. If you haven't had an opportunity to play it, I'd highly recommend it. It's completely free to play. I don't like the free to play model, unfortunately. To me, it kind
Why?
of I just don't like having to pay to win. Like to me, that's kind of I don't like it, man. I'd rather
So
sink
what
50
can you
sixty
buy?
dollars in a game.
What
Just
can
like
you buy in this game?
customization skins, nothing that will actually benefit you in terms of like up in your game kind of thing, but it's just mostly
Emotes
unlocking
and
emote
skins.
skins and things like that.
So if it doesn't make you any better, why don't you like that it's free? Yeah, I
Because
haven't played the game, so I don't know the difference.
yeah, so typically with the free to play model, to unlock something would take probably like a good maybe year and a half of grinding to get maybe 5 or 6 things. Whereas if you had paid the full price, $60 for $50 $60 for the actual game itself, it probably only took you maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks max to do
If
it.
that, or
Yeah,
you just
if
get it
that.
automatically.
Exactly. So that's to me, that's kind of the thing that I don't like about the free to play model. Just the whole concept of it is to grind forever or pay extra money to get what you want.
I see. So I think I'm gonna have to download this game. Maybe I'll set it and forget it after the podcast because I definitely want to check it out. Um, I'm on the fence a little bit just because I'm so heavily vested in Blackout. But did I say on the podcast last week that I bought a mod for my controller?
You did.
So I'm all about cheating, boys. You catch me on here with the auto aim, aimbot.
Bruh, you ain't ever gonna go back to Black Ops, bruh. Like what I can't wait till they start releasing maps, like more maps for the games. Like I like the whole arena thing, but I just once they start going into more maps, it's gonna be amazing. And it's by the same makers of Titanfall.
I heard.
And I think that this was supposed to be part of Titanfall 3, but then they just separated it out and released it. And I'm thinking that they were doing that because Anthem is about to get dropped at the end of the month.
Yeah, to get ahead of it. I'll have to
Yeah.
check out Apex, and then I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll check out Apex this week. May have time this weekend. It's supposed to get cold here in old San Antonio, so I may check it out this weekend and maybe review it. Yeah, I guess on next week's show. It's kind of like what would you say? Is Fortnite like WWE? And then what's the next big battle royale mode? It's probably Blackout, right? In Call of
Yeah.
Duty. That's kind of like AEW. And then Apex is like, would you say TNA or ROH?
I would say that
Or
Apex is
NJPW.
AEW. No, I'd say Apex would be AEW because it's the new kid on the block that's making big waves, and putting everybody on notice. Like
Okay.
they're reinventing the game. This is how battle royale should be played for mature adults.
Then we'd have to go
The
Blackout is probably NJPW.
Yeah, Blackout would be NJPW, and then Fortnite would be WWE.
Yeah. Man, that's interesting. So I'll have to check it out. Let's get into wrestling. We got the It's Real Wrestling podcast, and we're starting off hot with games. Let's get into wrestling this week.
I like talking games, man. We don't do it enough, bro. I mean, we got some. Let's get into wrestling.
Let's get into wrestling. What do you want to start this week? Because, I mean, it wasn't as busy. I want to say the past 2 weeks have been ridiculously busy when it comes to wrestling. But do you want to go in or outside the ring first?
Well, let's save outside the ring for last, man. We started heavy with the games. Let's get inside the ring.
Let's go straight in.
Yeah.
Raw highlight of the night was Becky Lynch. All right, on to SmackDown.
I've noticed I noticed a theme this week, and it was probably part of last week as well, but the the last 2 weeks of wrestling have been heavily revolving around the women, rightfully so.
Yeah,
I mean, this
huge.
next pay-per-view, by all accounts, is a women's pay-per-view that just features men, to be honest with you.
That's a great way to put it. Very good way
It's
to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally centering around the women's tag team belt, as well as the saga between with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. So very much a women's pay per view, and I think that, like, if you put it in that perspective, in that light, like, I think that the direction of how Raw and SmackDown has been going, I think I think it's okay. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there's another pay per view before WrestleMania, and I think that that one's probably going to be a little bit more driven with the men, as well as the final push to WrestleMania.
I think it's just Elimination Chamber. We've talked about this on the podcast before, and we thought that it was Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then a long layoff, like 5-6 weeks, and then the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. I think it's just. I
I
think it's
thought that
just,
too.
or maybe
Um,
Fastlane.
I think it is Fastlane. I I know that there's a pay per view a week from Sunday, and then I believe there's one right in March, like a couple weeks shy of the Royal Rumble. I think I'll check it out.
It's got to be.
Yeah, Fastlane, March 10th in Cleveland, Ohio.
Damn, Goose, you still got it. You still got it. And that was not that wasn't me looking up anything. That was just I'm pretty sure Fastlane. Yeah, but Fastlane's normally a trash pay-per-view. So like a throwaway build up to WrestleMania pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I don't think that it's going to be trash, only because, like, this is really going, like I said, this next pay-per-view, the Elimination Chamber, is really heavily around the women, and I think that the Fastlane pay-per-view is going to basically be the go home show, like the true go home show for
The
WrestleMania.
true go home big show, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this week did. I think cuz the Becky Lynch stuff was the opening segment on both shows, right?
Yeah, both shows.
So, yeah, I mean, speaking of which, can we talk about something on Raw? I know that I just totally passed on Raw a second ago before we get into how well Becky Lynch's storyline progressed this week.
Yeah, certainly.
Not much happened on Raw, but Dean Ambrose and the Alexa Bliss segment and the EC3 segment with Nia Jax. What's going on? So Dean's done, obviously, if the breaking kayfabe stuff is real. What are they going to do with him?
I have a feeling. First off, like, I am in the camp of this is an elaborate work, man. I don't think that they would be giving him this much mic time if they knew that he was going to be on his way out. I think the whole him taking pinfalls for everyone is just kind of a way to kind of persuade, like, just kind of get us expecting him to leave, kind of thing. But I don't.
So
I
do
don't
you
fall
think
for it at all.
come April when his contract's up that they'll just keep him off TV for 6 months and then he'll magically show up? Because you can't have his contract end and then he shows up the next week on Raw.
Well, maybe Dean Ambrose is not going to be affiliated with WWE, but maybe another character that is developed is, or something like that. Uh, I mean, that's the read that I'm getting that, and maybe he's I don't know, man. Maybe he's gonna get into the whole intergender matches and stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
From
he
the way
ain't
it's
going
looking,
nowhere, bro. He ain't going nowhere.
from the way it's looking now, he's gonna do he's gonna do the job Nia Jax at Mania, or at some point.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that that's kind of where it's heading, and if that's indeed the case, then Nia and Tamina are definitely not winning the women's tag team belt next month or next week.
Yeah, I don't think that them two are gonna win. I really do think it's gonna be Sasha and Bailey. Depending on next week's show, when we get to our predictions, I may change my mind.
Don't sleep on the Iconics, bro.
That's who I want to win. Maybe that'll be our new prediction thing. I've seen that done before. I don't remember where, but who do you want to win versus who will win when we do our predictions? Maybe
that's
we'll do
kind of
that.
like what we are, right? I mean, I'm the one who marks, and you're the one who does it with the logic.
Yeah, I got a habit of overthinking stuff. Speaking of overthinking stuff, I did it again this week when I was watching Raw. Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg was out. And hey, listen, I dig the nostalgia act, but I have to say the singing, I can't wait to be alone. 70% of the crowd doesn't know what that is. Of the remaining 30% who remember the pre-Attitude Era, 15% don't remember that song. Unless you had WWE The Music Volume, might have been 1 or 2. So not many people remember that song. Not many people remember Jeff Jarrett or the Road Dogg for that song. They remember the Road Dogg clearly because of DX. And they remember Jeff Jarrett for the country singer, the country gimmick, the slap nuts gimmick, the pulling a fast one on Vince McMahon, slap nuts in WCW, laying down for Hulk Hogan, taking the pin for Hulk Hogan, then fighting Booker T and Booker T winning the championship, and then starting TNA, and then marrying Kurt Angle's ex-wife or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just listed a bunch of stuff, and people, I don't think they remember the My Baby Tonight song all that much. So I don't really like seeing it on TV. I mean, I get the nostalgia thing. I actually really like, for some reason, that Jeff Jarrett's back on WWE TV. I don't want him to be a wrestler by any means. But kind of like that he's back because it shows, man, for business, Vince will forgive anybody. But maybe he could have a backstage role. Dude's got a ton of knowledge about wrestling and running a company, and he ran a company in good times. He ran a company in bad times. So when you run a company in bad times and you don't do well at whether it's ratings or sponsors or money or whatever, you learn from that. So I'm excited to see him in the WWE. But do you really want to see him as a wrestler week to week?
I don't think he'll be a wrestler from week to week. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they hired him more as like a backstage producer, him, Hurricane, and someone else. I think Abyss.
Sanjay Dutt and Abyss.
Yeah. So I think that you'll see them from here from time to time, but I don't think that we see y'all.
What up? Yeah, we see you. Why would you hire all these TNA guys though? Like, what's the influx of hiring these guys now? Because are they hiring them to keep them away from AEW?
I don't think it.
I don't think so.
No, AEW is like there's been too much hype on this AEW train here, man. I think we'll talk about that a little when we get outside the ring. But I think it's really more to because the writers that they currently have that are not on SmackDown just completely blow. And not a personal attack against them. It's just their concepts that they put on paper. It blows from week to week, is what I should have said. So bringing people from different areas that have had success on screen with their core audience, bringing them in and kind of just revamping ideas, I think will kind of go a long way towards improving Raw. There's not much to do with SmackDown because SmackDown is it's great from week to week. It's just a matter of taking some of that fire, incorporating some new ideas that are different from SmackDown and applying it to Raw to make it a better show.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess it never hurts to have an extra couple of minds to throw out there. Let's get into SmackDown. SmackDown was decent this week. Obviously, like I was telling you before we started the podcast, when we were getting set up, I had to kind of speed watch it. So the opening segment with Becky Lynch and Triple H was good. They're doing the Becky Lynch thing well, because they're continuously giving you the, hey, she might not make it, even though we all know she will. But because it's Triple H and Stephanie, like them, love them, or hate them for playing on-air characters, they know how to deliver a message. And I like that when she attacked Stephanie, there was no heel Stephanie McMahon. It was a true, like, hey, you need to get better. I don't have a choice. And it wasn't Stephanie pulling cheap shots. This isn't leading to a Stephanie Becky feud. This isn't leading to a Stephanie Triple H feud. It's a true building of Becky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it went well. And you know what I would have liked to have seen? Is I would have liked to have seen... So I thought Stephanie's segment outdid Triple H's segment. She kicked her in the leg, but the kick didn't come off like a vicious kick. She didn't continue beating her up. It was like a...
defensive.
Yeah, I got to get the hell up out of this ring.
Yeah.
And then Triple H, I would have loved for him to say, hey, you know what? I can tell you're hurt, but you're trying to fight through this, but it's not smart. You want to know who else? And then they show on the Titantron Triple H taking the walls of Jericho with a torn quad. Triple H at Greatest Royal Rumble ever, or whatever it was, where him and Shawn Michaels teamed up, and he had a torn pec, and he finished the match.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked for him to reference that and say, what did I have to show for it? I lost those matches. I fought those matches hurt, trying to prove that I'm tough, and I came up with a loss. I would have loved for him to reference that. He didn't, but I think it just would have added to it. But obviously, he was out there, and his job was to build heat on him for the ultimate slap that Becky Lynch gave him. So,
yeah, I mean, it was, both segments with Becky were interesting. Like you said, I like the fact that Stephanie, we didn't get to heel Stephanie, because I always worry, especially when Stephanie's in the ring with Sasha. It's like she's very territorial, and it really comes off that way on screen. But with Becky, it was just more of, hey, like you said, I'm a little concerned. With Triple H, though, man, something happened, man. Something happened that I wasn't even quite expecting. And I don't know if this was a pop test or if this was, if this was just magic again in a bottle. But they pop test Charlotte coming out for this three-way dance to kind of acknowledge that, hey, we know that you guys know that this might be something that we're going to try. And fans just completely shitted all over it, which I absolutely love that. Kudos to Washington for putting it down. But Triple H sent Charlotte to the back, told her, hey, basically, this isn't your segment. You ain't involved. Just go to the back, which I liked.
Same here.
And then Triple H and Becky kind of have this little standoff, which makes me want to believe that they might actually scrap Ronda versus Becky and make it Triple H versus Becky at Mania, have Charlotte face Ronda at Mania, and then maybe we get at SummerSlam Becky versus Ronda if she sticks around. But I'm going to be honest with you, Goose. I think I would be up more for a Becky versus Triple H than I would be for Becky versus Ronda right now.
So so when they stared each other down, I thought, we talked about this last week about the state of the mixed intergender fights. So I got that same impression that WWE zoomed in on their faces, and I was like, oh my God. Becky Lynch might legit fight Triple H one day.
Yeah.
And
my girl Bex going. I can't even call my girl no more, man. Bex is the man. She's gonna come out for Triple H, put that pedigree on it. She's gonna take that torch and go. Let's do it. I'm excited.
If anybody could make that match work, it's Triple H, because the dude could do anything.
Yeah, he sells
he
sells just as good as Brock does.
And I thought, man, so I don't think it'll happen at Mania, but it goes back to what we talked about last week. If it's, I don't know, but it's looking more and more like the 4 horsemen woman thing might not happen. But
this might be the audible too, if you think about it. Like if Ronda truly is going to leave after Mania, I think that would do more harm on Becky for taking the strap off of her, and because she knew that, or they knew that she wasn't coming back. So maybe this is kind of their plan B. If Charlotte takes it off of her, it's not going to do any harm from Charlotte, but Becky, I think it would do a little bit more.
But I think it's great that if in the plan B essence of if Ronda's leaving, Becky already has a storyline. You said SummerSlam. That means through August. So that means Becky's covered for the next, because Triple H he could make anybody look like $1 million. And I'm not saying that Becky needs it or whatever, but if the long-term plan is have Becky fight Ronda at WrestleMania, regardless of the winner or the loser, and then if the rumors are true that Ronda's going to kind of chill out for a bit, then you could have Becky versus Triple H at a show, and them two can go in the ring. Like, it would be a decent match. And have Becky Lynch defeat Triple H at SummerSlam? That carries the man gimmick over for the next 6 to 10 months.
It does.
And then you have her
be better than the Kingslayer.
Yeah. Then you have her lose her championship. Man, we're future booking. So she beats Triple H at SummerSlam.
Bro, this is the kind of stuff that we've been needing, bro. This is the kind of stuff that we've been asking for, bro. I'm telling you, man. This uncertainty of what might happen. This is all we've been asking for, man. This is great stuff, man.
She needs to fight Triple H at SummerSlam. I like where you started with that. And I'm going to book this until WrestleMania 2020. So what happens is say Ronda takes a break. She had mentioned, or TMZ, or somebody mentioned pregnant. Who maybe she has a baby, maybe she doesn't. Maybe it'd be awesome if she did. Trust me, me and you know, because we have kids, how amazing kids are. But say she doesn't. What if you do? Ronda loses at Mania. You know, maybe they have a rematch at the next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell or whatever, and Becky keeps the title. And then Ronda says, "Man, this is future booking. Ready for this?" Ronda says, "You know what, Becky? I'm sick and tired of you. And that's why my 3 friends have come to hang out with me." And then that leads to a future match. Well, we'll say. So Becky feuds with Ronda, wins the title, wins the rematch. Ronda takes a little bit of time off. Becky beats Triple H. Oh, man, huge night. And then the next week on Raw or SmackDown or whatever, Ronda shows back up. Ronda hasn't been on TV for months. She shows up with a 4 horsewomen. So Becky's got to go to Charlotte. And that's the tough part. She's pissed off Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't like her. But Becky's not on SmackDown. But Becky's pissed off in the storylines Bayley and Sasha. So now Becky's got to go on the forgiveness tour and say, you know what? I'm the man. I don't need you. I'm going to take on the Rousey's 4 horsewomen myself at Survivor Series. And then that's when we get what I predicted last week. We get a match. Whoever wins, whatever. But then we get the big heel turn. Shayna Baszler on Ronda Rousey. Then at next year's WrestleMania, Shayna Baszler eliminates Ronda Rousey from the Women's Rumble. She gets the title shot, and she fights Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 2020.
Damn. I like that.
That would be a badass storyline.
Ghost, they need to hire you, bro.
Because right now, there's not anybody. Asuka, just beat her, but there's not anybody that's like man, this person could beat Becky Lynch. I know Asuka just beat her. I get that part, but in the future, you're gonna have to come with like a dude. Shayna Baszler took out the other 4 horsewomen, and she Thanos Charlotte, Bailey, and Sasha, and she took out the other 4 horse. She took out all the other. There's 2 4 horsewomen stables, and she took out all of them except for Becky. And that's a hell of a storyline. And then you have Becky lose at Mania to Shayna Baszler or whatever, because the chase is always fun.
Always.
Damn, that's a story right there.
I'm telling you, man, this is how it needs to be booked, bro. This is how it needs to be booked.
But it doesn't matter because somebody will get hurt and it'll mess everything up.
That's for sure, man. Or they get tachylitis or something like that. I don't know, man.
Oh man, now that's a story. So would you say? You know what? I had to ask before I was gonna say, was Becky Lynch the highlight of wrestling in general this week? Mustafa Ali fought Randy Orton. How did he get that lump on his eye?
I think he went like face first in the canvas on that RKO, bro.
No, he had the lump before the RKO.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I watched it today. He started to develop it. I don't know. Maybe he just took a random hard punch.
Yeah, or maybe outside the ring. I think he had thrown him into the post, so maybe he just took it there. But yo, that match was amazing, man. Like when Randy Orton can get a general in the ring to kind of guide him, like magic can happen, man. Mustafa Ali is very, very impressive, man. I mean, I knew this. I mean, he's 205, right? You know.
Do you think Randy Orton's kind of checked out, like, or just showing up for the paycheck?
Yeah, man. I mean, we kind of hinted at this in the past, man. Like as you get older, like in your youth, you're young. It's all about, I can't say that no more, but it's all about getting that money. You know what I mean? Getting that money, having a good time, going out, drinking, having a good time, within reason. And then as you get, older, you get married, you have kids, starts to slow down. It's all about making sure that home base is taken care of. So you don't worry about titles and online or personas and characters and all that kind of stuff. You just worried, about getting that paycheck from week to week, and that's it, man.
You know what? I got to agree with you there. And I love me some Randy Orton. Like, I feel like he just gets it. Like, knows this is what I got to do. This is what works, and I know what works. Paycheck clears. I get some family time. I get some wife time. I mean, it's no secret with him on social media. He's a family guy now. So, yeah, you're right. I think you put it in a good perspective. I was hoping that he wouldn't check out. Then after seeing this match, he's a veteran, a true veteran now, and he still makes some of the young guys, or he still can go in the ring with some of the younger guys. The RKO was great this week. I love the fake RKO he did too.
Yeah, that was.
I thought it was a botch, but I was
I didn't
man,
even
that was
expect
good.
that, man. That match went like almost 10, 15 minutes, didn't it?
I don't know about the Hulu cut, but it was long. It was including commercials, 20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes. Okay, then yeah, it was a pretty long match. They had 2 commercials in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was fantastic, man. And God, can you imagine having other 205 people there going to get some of these heavyweights and putting on the show, man?
So let me ask you that then. Should they call up some other 205 guys? Because I feel like right now, Mustafa has the storyline of, man, this guy's like a Daniel Bryan storyline. This guy's great in the ring. Hopefully he's small, but he doesn't get overlooked. I feel like if they bring up more 205 guys, it'll be forced.
Well, I don't think it'll be forced if you bring up the right 205 live guys. Like you brought up a Gulak. Merging first and last name together there, man. But he went to NXT, so which that's kind of interesting. And then there's not anyone else that's left, man.
Cedric?
Yeah, I mean Cedric. You got too many brothers on Raw, and he doesn't necessarily have the character gimmick for SmackDown. So he's kind of. I would probably have put him in NXT and brought Gulak to the main roster because Gulak's got he's got everything. He's got the in-ring ability. He can talk on the mic, and he can wrestle big people. I mean, we saw him go against Roman Reigns, and that was a really competitive match. So
yeah. So yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. Man, I just had a good frame of reference on where I was going to go. I was going to ask you something. You mentioned NXT a second ago.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the state of NXT, because I was pretty annoyed when I found out that the NXT Royal Rumble was at a house show. Matter of fact, I was kind of pissed. I punched a hole in my drywall. I was pretty pissed. And then I YouTubed how to patch it. And it looked too difficult because the video was more than 2 minutes. So I have a hole in my wall. So let's talk about NXT for a minute. Why? When I saw that they were going to have a Royal Rumble, I thought, dude, NXT just had an amazing takeover. And now they're hijacking this week's show. And NXT's only an hour. And they're going to have a Royal Rumble. So guys are going to have to come out every 30 seconds. Man, this is amazing. Genius idea. And winner gets a title shot at NXT WrestleMania weekend. Genius idea. Nope. NXT should have their own Royal Rumble on the Royal Rumble weekend, right? Would you be cool, or is that just a main roster thing?
I think it's a main roster thing, man.
It's reserved for guys on the main roster?
It is, because, like, one, you don't have the amount of talent to even do it, let alone it'd be interesting because there'd be a lot of people who we don't really know. And I kind of like
But doesn't that give them exposure? Like,
I think you get more exposure how you have it now. How they, you have 2 or 3 people from the NXT roster in the actual Royal Rumble.
But NXT is only on the WWE app, just like the Royal Rumble.
It's
exposure is the same regardless, right? If it's on the app, exposure is the same.
It's on Hulu as well. I mean, it comes out same day. But your whole thing with NXT is you're trying to get casuals to watch NXT. The marks already watch it. It's getting the casuals to watch it, and the casuals aren't going to go out and watch a product that just doesn't fit their schedule. So the best way to do is try to find a character that they can get behind, put them in front of the main roster, and then hopefully get them to one by one to draw them into NXT. I mean, that's kind of the formula for the marketing formula, the funnel, as they say.
So would you want to have an NXT Royal Rumble at all, or no? Just get rid of it.
I think it's a waste, man. The roster isn't depth that the roster at this point right now is not deep enough in order for us to have like their own full one. I think that once they get the whole Japan thing going and
the international stuff going,
yeah, because I think that there's an NXT Japan coming, and I also believe that there's going to be an NXT either. I don't want to say Australia, but I think it might either be Australia or Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. They're working on they're working right now on opening performance centers in India and the Middle East.
One coming in Japan. So I think that once you've got those going, and then they've got a cult following, I think that you can eventually do a NXT Royal Rumble. But we're talking probably a good 2 or 3 years before something like that happens. And that's if the WWE doesn't sell to some third-party promotion, which I still feel like that's going to ultimately happen.
So why would, by this note, if NXT is basically going to be the indie circuit, but international indie circuit, why would an indie wrestler sign with them? Well, I guess they'll just be the biggest indie circuit in every major international market. Like if you're going to Saudi Arabia, there's tons of oil money there. NXT UK, there's tons of money in London. India, one of the most heavily populated countries in the world, and Japan. And yeah, I guess they're playing it smart. Interesting. So NXT, they kind of did double duty, huh?
Yeah, man, for sure. I like the halftime show that they did
Yeah,
on
Heat. They called it Heat.
Heat.
I loved it. I watched that match live with Stephen Thatch, baby. Stephen Thatch actually showed up with a custom Stephen Thatch Bebe shirt, the one he wore to the Royal Rumble.
That's Stephen Thatch, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting that they actually did that, man. And dude, we got so much love. Like over 60,000 people like saw our post on Twitter, which was amazing, man. Got so much eyes on us for showing that pre-clip, man. Of Aleister Black, uh Ricochet and Team
The Dream.
Dream. Yeah. So that was pretty fun. And so shout out to everybody who's listening to us now, because you guys found us on Twitter. Appreciate you guys for sure for joining us. But yeah, man, yeah, shout out to NXT, man. They're doing it big, man. They, between them and 205 people going to NXT, they're just doing it big, man.
Yeah,
Just
the
doing it
future of
big.
WWE is great. Like the future of what's been set up and kind of put forward. Like they're doing good things. WWE is doing good things.
What I did want to talk about specifically about the NXT thing, which I lost my train of thought and I actually got it back here, is dude, what in the world are the call-ups doing on the main roster? Like,
I asked you this last week.
I know, but like I thought that after the pay-per-view was over, like that we were going to be solidified into who they are, but like they're on both SmackDown and they're on Raw. I am like completely confused, and now
and one of them hasn't even debuted.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to either. From the sounds of it, man, I absolutely don't know what they're doing with these NXT call-ups. Like I don't know whatsoever. I don't like the fact they're on both brands, though.
You said last week that you were okay with it, and then this week you're changing your mind, Sage.
I was okay with it with the understanding. I was okay with it with the understanding that, hey, they don't have anything for them yet. They're gonna wait until after the pay-per-view to start building the storylines. Like that was my whole notion of what they were doing, but that's not even the case. Like they don't have a character, they don't have a storyline whatsoever. They're just kind of just showing up, and like I don't know what they're doing, man. Like we're not given an opportunity to care about these people.
You're right, and you actually asked me, I think that last week, or you brought up a point that, well, it's obvious Nikki Cross is going to end up on SmackDown, but we haven't seen Sanity in general in a while, like consistently on SmackDown.
Yeah, you got Killian Dane on social media saying hashtag where's Sanity.
So I mean, I think that it's interesting. It's a new experiment seeing them on 2 TV shows, but they show up on 2 TV shows. EC3 beats Dean Ambrose, but he's, for all we know, going to be on SmackDown next week. I feel like I don't really know why they're showing up on both shows, but not. If you're going to show up on both shows, make some reference to it about, hey, these guys are free agents, but that doesn't even make sense. Like you could say, man, these guys are free agents. Oh, well, no, they're not. You just ran a promo that said they're coming up to the main roster. I think it's that they're trying to get exposure for them because obviously NXT call-ups don't always work out. Ty Dillinger, even if you're talented, you know what I mean? Ty Dillinger, talented, all that good stuff. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I like Ty Dillinger's matches, but it doesn't. I guess they're trying to get exposure for him, but there's not ever going to be a storyline with it. With the McMahon family saying, man, I really want to sign Lacey Evans to Raw. Well, how about you give me Heavy Machinery? Like there's nothing that's going to come out of it. They're just going to end up, okay, well, I guess they ended up on Raw. That's the way it's kind of going. You know what I mean? Like it's, these people are on both shows. Okay, well, EC3 hasn't been on SmackDown in 15 weeks, so I guess he's a Raw guy now. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
never going to be official until they put it up on the WWE website. So I think there's this experiment probably. Yeah, I'm not
I
a
don't
fan.
even think it was an experiment, man. I think they forced their hand to put them up on the roster because we're seeing the same exact people in matches for like 6, 7 weeks straight. So they brought them up. But the problem with bringing them up is they're essentially just enhancement talent.
Yeah,
And
they're kind of blind
yeah,
out there,
like
like running around blind. Like I don't know where I'm going to be in. Like if I asked any one of them, like, where are you going to be in 6 months? I don't know if they could answer that.
no,
And
not
that's
in the
scary
slightest.
as an independent contractor.
No, I mean
I
I
mean,
agree.
I'm not a wrestler. I don't know the stories, but as any independent contractor, 1099, if I said, "Hey, where are you going to be in 6 months by chance?" Oh, I'm not really sure, but this is a 5-year contract. Maybe that's the way they think of it. The hell with it. I signed for 3 years. I know I got a job for 3 years. Maybe that's the way they think of it. Who knows? I need to become a wrestler.
Seems like the life right there, man. Just tell me
Oh
what I
yeah.
got to do. Make sure the check clears. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Now, speaking of heavy machinery, I thought the decent cats guys are playing the storylines well, huh?
Um, yeah, for the exception of their names, man, they're no longer Dozovich and
No, I like
Knight.
it. They're
I
doing it
don't.
just like uh Cesaro.
And CN all and Andrade. Like it just Dozovich just sounds so kooky. Like it's just like Otis. Like really, like I can't get it behind a Otis, but I can get it behind a Dozovich.
Yeah, the maybe could have. I think their name has a better ring to it when it's a singular name versus first and last name.
I don't know, but some characters it just goes with them. Like I get Tucker Knight. Like I that just seems like a generic Joe Blow name, Tucker Knight. Um, but Otis Dozovich is just like, yo, that's a name right there, man.
That
That's like
is,
a name
and
you
if he
can
goes
build.
single, and like you said, some names ring well together, like Biggie Langston.
Yeah.
Hey, Big E sounds just fine by itself.
Cien Almas. I like Andrade Cien Almas. It just goes together. It flows, man. It's like Andrade seems like it's just it doesn't seem special. Like
Yeah,
it just doesn't have that
it
specialness
doesn't give him
to
the
it.
Latin flair either.
Exactly.
Now let's get to outside the ring, Sage.
Yeah, man.
Where do you want to start?
Oh man. Um I don't even know, man. It's just let's start with AEW, bro. Dude, like I'm getting AEW burnout and I haven't even seen like a match yet from them, man. Just all this talk about like, oh, they're quitting, they're gonna go to AEW. Like, yo, enough. Like seriously, let's just I mean their pay-per-view is in like what, 2 weeks? Um,
Yeah. It's no, it's not for a while.
3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something. I mean, the pay-per-view's coming up. They're still building. Like, I know I get it. You guys are excited. We're all excited. We want it now, but like all this speculation about who's going to be in there and that every single person who's leaving the WWE is going to AEW. Like, it's just so overbearing and so exhausting to the point where like literally feel like I don't even want to watch the product. And it's not even
No,
here yet.
so I don't think about that, Sage, because I want you to be a fan, so we can talk about it on the show. I think that as a wrestling fan, it's easy to get caught up into it, but I think we're getting caught up into clickbait advertisement. So I think that AEW, I truly don't think they want a lot of former. I mean, you'll pick your spots here and there, but I don't think they want a ton of former WWE guys. Maybe AJ Styles. Sure, because I mean he's actually a great wrestler in the ring, all that stuff. But I don't think they want a ton of former WWE guys because then you become, oh yeah, you're just like TNA. You just take a bunch of former WWE guys and try to put on a TV show, or you become WCW. I think that AEW wants to create their own product, and Cody runs it, or he's one of the runners of it, but he just happened to be from former WWE. But his popularity, the height of his popularity, had nothing to do with the WWE. So I think they're just trying to do their own thing. And if some WWE talent says, "Hey, you know what? Can I check this out?" No, we're good, man. We don't, we don't need you. Or, yeah, sure, stop on by. We could talk. So I'm not getting burned out by it yet, especially since they haven't yet, it's coming up soon, announced a TV deal. And I truly think if you ask the Young Bucks or Cody, "Hey man, are you trying to compete with the WWE?" I think they'd say like, "Dude, no. We're a wrestling show that's just another product out there on the market." It'd be like Fanta trying to compare themselves to Dr. Pepper or Coke or Pepsi. I think that they're just truly like, dude, we're okay with being something else to watch.
Especially
And plus,
because we're the same company. We're already getting that Coke money.
yeah, right. They're so WWE is a multi-billion. You're so far away from even thinking you could be on the same level as WWE. And I think that the people running the show there are thinking that same thing. Like, dude, we can't compete. We're not competitors. We are us. We are AEW. Watch us for that, and just so I'm pumped. I'm kind of glad that they're not starting off so far with the show every single Monday or Tuesday or whatever. That they're just going to kind of have select shows here and there and house shows or whatever. So I'm not burned out by it. I hope everyone keeps the faith. Keeps the faith.
I don't know. And it's not. I mean, to your credit, like it's not AEW that I'm like themselves that they're burnt out, because they're not the ones that are perpetuating like all these rumors. At least I hope they're not. But like literally in 1 week, Goose, Shinsuke, Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, AJ Styles,
Usos,
Kanellis, Usos,
the revival,
I know I'm missing a couple.
Sage the Mark,
Kevin Owens, Ben Goosen. Like literally, dude, like that's like 1/3 of their current roster right now, man. Like, come on now. Like it's,
you know what? You're calling out fans. Hey, wrestling
I
fans,
am.
shut up.
And you know, I'm not above that, bro. I mean, I'll tell you how it is, man. Y'all need to cool the out because you know you're getting your boy heated with this stuff, man. Let's go.
It's clickbait, Sage. It's I'm not coming on the offense at you, but it's clickbait. So okay, put it this way: if me and you titled today's podcast, if we titled it Shinsuke versus AJ on AEW, people would be like, "Oh my god," and we'd get a bunch of views and clicks. See, that's one thing I'm noticing. A lot of these like wrestling blogs, journalists, or whatever, and it works. I mean, props to you. If that's a way for you to make some cash, go do it. But that's a lot of it. If you could be like a pro wrestling journalist and you say, and your name's Joe, Blow, whatever, and you say, my sources tell me that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to sign with AEW and he's unhappy with this contract. Yeah, no, it's clickbait. People listen to it, they click on it, and guess what? If in 6 months Shinsuke doesn't, it doesn't ruin your credibility because people forget about it pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
You know who doesn't forget about things?
Kenta. Oh no, he's going to AEW too.
Yeah. No, you know who doesn't forget about things? And you can't mess. There's one man who doesn't forget about anything.
Who's that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who?
You can't mess with this man. This man you cannot mess with because he'll mess you up. And he is the baddest shut your mouth on this planet.
No, y'all saw that trailer, son.
And we're talking about. I saw the new Shaft trailer.
Yeah, man.
This morning. I don't know if it just got released yesterday.
Yeah, it just dropped today, man. It just dropped today.
You saw did you see the last one with Sam Jackson?
Oh, you know it, man. You know it, man. I've seen all renditions of Shaft, bro.
I love that movie.
That ranks up there with "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," with
the Wayans family,
Starsky and Hutch.
Yep.
With good old Huggy Bear, bro. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Like, it's in that realm, bro. In that realm.
The previous Shaft, for those of y'all who don't know, stars Sam Jackson as Detective John Shaft, son of Richard Roundtree, the original Shaft. And the main bad guy is Christian Bale in the movie, and he beats up Mekhi Phifer, who you might know as Papa Doc from
That's
8
right.
Mile. He commits, yes. Yeah. And your boy Clarence. No. He was Clarence in 8 Mile is Falcon in the Avengers. Did you know that?
That's right. Yeah, I did know that, man.
Isn't that crazy? Anthony Mackie. So, it's a great movie. And I forget the name of the actor. Oh, he's a great actor, too. He was in Hunger Games, who plays Peoples in Shaft. And you best watch your mouth, you motherfucker.
That's
and
right.
in the Sam Jackson Shaft, one of the best lines in the Sam Jackson Shaft, there's 2 of them. One of them is, "You know me, girl. It's my duty to please that booty."
That booty.
And then another one is, and I wish WWE would use this. I actually thought about this earlier today when Becky Lynch was talking about when Triple
Hernandez, bro. Peoples
Hernandez. That's it. Peoples. When his brother gets killed, "You must kill me, you motherfucker." Oh, you know that guy's British, right?
Jeffrey Wright, bro.
Jeffrey Wright,
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah.
You know he's hard British, right? Like hardcore British.
He's
a Broadway actor.
I thought he was Hispanic or Italian or something like that.
No. He's a British dude, mixed breed, like me and you from Great Britain. That was just great acting, bro.
Can't hate on that, bro.
So, Christian Bale beats up Mekhi Phifer in a hate crime. And the other line that I like in this movie is a federal judge. I think somebody tells John Shaft, "Hey, you ain't a cop no more. We're taking away your badge." And Shaft looks at him and says, "You think that makes me more dangerous or less dangerous?"
That's right.
And walks off. And he chunks the badge and it sticks to the wall. I wish when Triple H said, "Becky, you're suspended," if Becky Lynch said, "Oh, you think that makes me more dangerous or less dangerous?"
That's right.
I've always wanted that line used in wrestling, and I'm glad you've seen the movie. That new Shaft looks great. It looks like they're doing a 3rd generation of it with the grandson in there.
Can't complain about that, man. We need more of those. God, growing up, man, we had. I listed them all, or pretty much all of them, man. But we had like the collection of like Black excellence comedy movies, like just turn your brain off and just laugh and have fun kind of movies, man. And we don't got that anymore, man. Like we have to rely on reboots to kind of stimulate that part of it, man. We had Undercover Brother, the Ladies Man.
Yeah, good call.
Scary movies. We don't have those types of movies anymore, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, I agree. Are you gonna see Captain Marvel in theaters and then see Avengers?
Kind of have to, man, because it leads into Avengers,
and it's set in the 90s, so maybe it'll have some nostalgia stuff.
Yeah, that's set in the 80s and the 90s, and then I think that towards the end it'll bring it into modern modern time.
So maybe we have to plan ahead. When Avengers Endgame comes out, clearly we have to stay off social media. We record our podcast live for everyone listening at Real WrestleCast, or just type in It's Real Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, and you'll find us, and you can watch the live version, join in on chat. I think that we should go see Avengers Endgame that Thursday night that it comes out.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about it today. There's going to be too many spoilers for us to talk about it on the. I mean, we're going to clearly talk about the movie.
Well, we
But
could do a whole episode on it, man. Like a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Because we're going to have to see. I feel like a movie like that, you have to see Thursday or Friday, right?
Yeah. God, I miss doing those movies, man. Getting the midnight showing.
I can't stay awake. I can't stay awake. That's my problem now.
Bro, you live closer to the movie theater, man. I ain't got no excuse.
But I get tired. The last Avengers, I've watched it 10 million times. The Infinite Gauntlet. I thought it sucked the first time I saw it, but it's because I crammed. There was a bunch of movies I hadn't seen. I crammed like 6 movies that build into that movie in 4 days. And then I was so tired when I went to see that movie that I saw it and I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what planet you're on. You're getting cosmic on me. And then after I've watched it a couple times, and then when I saw Thanos cry the first time, and you can go back to the podcast and listen to it. Check the dates forever. I mentioned it. When I saw Thanos cry after he killed Gamora, I was like, dude, this guy's supposed to be the legit badass and he's crying? Bro, you crying? You crying? But after I saw it, the first time I didn't like it, and second time after I wasn't tired, I had a completely clear head, not one that was just completely exhausted or anything. Geez, I've seen the movie like 20 times since it's been on Netflix. Yeah. Just an amazing movie, and just the story and the way they fit that much ego and celebrity and all that stuff into one movie was really great.
I still haven't seen the second movie.
Which one?
Avengers 2. Like, for whatever reason, I can't find it. I can't find it to rent. You can only buy it. I don't know why. Was it really that bad?
No, it was. So the way Darby Amore, who's one of our regular listeners, told me to watch it with low expectations. So if you go in with expectations of it not being great, it's actually a pretty good movie.
Okay.
So when I saw it, I was like, oh man, an AI bot that could whoop some ass. Because AI is smarter than anything there could possibly be. I thought, dude, this movie is going to be very, very good. And my buddy saw it and said, just go in with expectations that it's Sage, it's a go-home show movie.
It's a go-home show.
Put it that way. Go in with
trying to get you geared up for part 3, bro.
Yes. It's Avengers 2. Did you ever see Captain America Civil War?
Yeah, I've seen all of the MCUs. The only one that I haven't seen is part 2 of Avengers.
Civil War is amazing. Like that was a great movie. Probably especially seeing Iron Man get his ass kicked. So I will say that when you see the movie, go in expecting it to be a go-home show for the future Avengers movies, and you'll like it.
Okay.
Put it that way.
If I could find it, I will delve into it and see.
You gotta wait for that Disney app.
Obviously so, man. It's the only one I can't seem to find, so it's just kind of weird and perplexing, man. But yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I saw it when when it was on Netflix, it was on Netflix for not very long. Well, just like most of the MCU or just Netflix in general. They're on there for a couple weeks and a couple months, and they get taken off.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover this week?
I did kind of have a topic, man, and I guess this kind of can bleed into our closing. So, I've been noticing this kind of epidemic going on, man, just in life in general, where, people say things or do things, 20, 30 years ago. Um, Nothing too heinous, just more of things that aren't socially acceptable to do nowadays. I mean, I don't think it ever was socially acceptable, but I mean, given the times, it was whole dressing up as different characters of different ethnicities, cultural appropriations, and things of that nature. Saying things that might have been offensive in your youth.
Are you going off Liam Neeson?
Not just Liam Neeson, man. I mean, there's been countless cases, or not cases, but countless examples in the last year.
Especially
from
politically.
dude from Virginia comes to mind. And I ask, like, at what point do we just say, yo, people make mistakes? Like, it's not about, I say life is like it's a story. Your life is a story, man. How you were when you were, in your teens and in your 20s and your early 20s. And you turning it around in your 50s and your 60s, or your 40s, 50s, and 60s, or 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, like, that's got to account for something. Like, at what point do we stop vilifying people for the actions that they've done in the past and start seeing the journey that they've made coming up? Like, I could understand, like, if you have behaviors over and over and over again, but like, people are losing their jobs because of something that they've done when they were, not even of legal age. And I don't think that that's right, man. Am I the only one? Like, is that?
And I was talking to a buddy of mine today about this thing. It's like saying you make a mistake in the past, but you're punished forever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I think that,
yeah,
like Rocky said, we could all change in Rocky 4. If I can change, you can change, we all can change. Sweet. No, we shouldn't harp on that stuff. If put it this way, I'm gonna put this blunt. So Sage, you're referencing some things that have come up recently, especially in the political world we're in, and in the world we're in, where internet sleuthing is a real thing. Where if you say something, the internet, Reddit, people on the internet will go through public information to prove you wrong, or dig up tweets from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago and get you fired from directing Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah. That was the example I was trying to figure.
There's politicians that have taken pics in blackface, meant as a harmless joke and stuff like that. So there's things that you've done in the past that are a joke. But let me tell you like it is. There's one constant that does not change. A piece of shit looks like a piece of shit. Turds haven't changed in the past 200 years. If I looked at a caveman shitting in the toilet, probably not a toilet, but it looks no different than what old Uncle Ben Goosen puts in the toilet. Case in point, pieces of shit are pieces of shit. And you're going to know when people are shitty people and when they're not. If you were a shitty person in 1980 and you did some blackface or you did some pics that are just bad, chances are, if I know you today and somebody sends me these blackface pictures or some incriminating bad pictures, if I could say, oh yeah, I could see that about the guy. He's made a bunch of shitty comments. Turds are turds, man.
Yeah.
Pieces of shit, you know. So people can change, man. People make mistakes all the time. Hell, prison system, we got jails. We have jails full of people who made a simple mistake. That doesn't mean they're bad people today. Maybe some people are in jail, maybe they're not. I don't know. But I'm not saying forgive them, instantly be their best friends. Sure, walk on eggshells around them, maybe so. But yeah, I disagree with the whole narrative of a person made a mistake in 1982, 1990, and I don't know. It's weird. I'm not going to go into it too much, but yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat, man, and I didn't want to pick any specific examples or anything like that. I just like our culture's got to change, man. Like it shouldn't be about one-upsmen and proving someone wrong. Like if a person's actions have clearly changed over the year, like why in the world would you want to have them lose their job? Like it's just like their way to making a living or supporting their own family. Just doesn't make sense to me. Like if we did that for one person, we're gonna do it for everyone. Might as well just like we all might as well be homeless, man. It's just not right, my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It all ends up. Yeah. This stuff. Who knows? But you know what? The only thing you could do is have peace and love and respect for one another and unity.
Right.
Meet another wrestling fan. We've said this on the show before. Meet another wrestling fan. Enjoy him. Say hi. Say how you doing. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on in the world that's negative. Stay out of the negativity and stay in the positivity. Other person's positivity. You down with OPP?
You know me, bro.
I'm your boy Ben Goosen. It's your boy Sage the Mod. Does that one sound all right? This is my Sage the Mod.
Sound perfect, man. Sound perfect.
We'll hit y'all up next week again at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. That's the best way to get a hold of us. Or you can call us 419-777-IRWP. 419-777-IRWP. Remember, y'all, keep it real. Hey everybody, it's your boy Ben Goose. Remember, the thoughts and opinions expressed today are that of the IRWP and not of the host. Go ahead and hit us up, 419-777-IRWP, 419-777-IRWP, and at Real WrestlingCast on all major podcast platforms. Keep it real, gangsters.